Contemporary Northern history blames the South for slavery. But the truth is, it wasn't the South, it was the North that introduced slavery to America and grew rich in the process. The blame the South crowd hope that you never learn the truth. But justice for the South demands that we all learn the truth about who is responsible for slavery in America. In 1637, the New England colony of Massachusetts was engaged in a war with local Native Americans. In the process, they managed to kill and capture those Native Americans in their territory and sold them into slavery. This has been noted by honest historians as the beginning of slavery in North America. The beginning of African slavery in North America can be traced to the arrival of the New England's first slave ship, the Desire. The Desire's home port was Boston, Massachusetts. The Desire landed its cargo in Boston, part of which were African slaves. These slaves were purchased eagerly by local Bostonians. The Nightingale was one of America's last slave ships. She was captured off the coast of Africa late 1860. The death rate of its human cargo was 3 a day. She was owned by a Salem, Massachusetts firm. And note the photograph of the Nightingale in Boston Harbor. Old Glory is flying from the ship's stern. Massachusetts also has the distinction of having North America's first fugitive slave law. It was enacted May 19, 1643. Massachusetts historian George H. Moore notes, quote, "The original fugitive slave law provisions in the federal Constitution can be traced to this Massachusetts law," end quote. In 1705, the Massachusetts legislature passed a law authorizing the whipping of individuals as a means of punishment. The law specifically mentions the punishment of, quote, "Negro and mulattoes who have improper intercourses with the whites," end quote. In 1788, Massachusetts passed a law giving special elected officials the authority to publicly flog African Americans who came into the state and refused to leave. Massachusetts had 5,000 slaves in 1776 when she signed the Joint Declaration of Independence. Massachusetts was not the only northern state to hold slaves early in history. New York had over 22,000 in 1790. New Jersey, 12,000 1790. New Hampshire, over 8,000 in 1790. Connecticut, over 2,000 in 1790. Now, was it a sense of morality? That is, a feeling that holding people in bondage was morally wrong? Or was the ending of slavery in the North motivated by economic reasons? By the early 1800s, most of the North's land had been cleared. The commercial enterprise of the North, therefore, no longer required a large pool of human labor. Slavery was removed from the North by selling the slave either into the Caribbean or to the South, or by granting an existing slave freedom after the passage of a given number of years. Exclusion laws prevented free blacks from entering most of the northern states, 19 of the 24 at the time of secession. Economics and a desire to rid themselves of a class of people they did not wish to associate with was the North's motivation for ending slavery. Now, after learning these things about the origins of slavery in the North, you may ask, why is the South blamed for slavery and constantly slandered by self-righteous folks of the North? The answer is simple: politics. Slavery was an excuse used to justify to the world the invasion, conquest, and occupation and exploitation of the Confederate States of America. It was true in 1861, and it remains true today.
Every cultural and ethnic group in America today is encouraged to display pride in their heritage, except Southerners. Sadly, the heritage and rights of Southerners have been relegated to the trash heap of liberal PC society. Justice requires equality and fair play for the South. After all, Southern rights matter. We insist on justice for all Southerners who wore the gray, black or white, during the War for Southern Independence, and justice for their descendants. The Sons of Confederate Veterans is a non-political Southern heritage organization defending the good name of all honorable Southerners. Check out our website and join us in this noble endeavor.
If you like this video, you're sure to love all the books you'll find at KennedyTwins.com. Why settle for myths, half-truths, and even outright lies when you can log into KennedyTwins.com and learn the truth about the American founding, the truth about the war for Southern independence, and the truth about our inheritance in liberty as bequeathed to us by our founding fathers. Thanks for watching.